Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see a healthy Carson Wentz and the world champion Philadelphia Eagles face off with Jameis Winston and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. With that, let's get you over to Raymond James Stadium for the home opener. On the call, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Just a short time ago, the Buccaneers emerging from their tunnel to the roar of this frenzied crowd here in the Sunshine State. And we're in the big ship, and fittingly, everyone here ready to do battle as Tampa Bay gets ready to match up with the Philadelphia Eagles. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row. The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. Bernard Reedy now on the return. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. We get a look at a man in his 4th season already at the controls of the Bucs offense. From Florida State, it's Jameis Winston.
We talk so much about how coaches script things, especially on offense, to start a season, to start a game, whatever it is. Could they have scripted a better start in terms of playing? Offensive Player of the Week in the NFC, and his team won their season opener.
Absolutely. Perfect start to the year, but all the talk was, hey, that was week 1. Now we got to move forward.
Let's do it again in week 2. That's what he's told his teammates.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. His throw incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd down. A look now at the defensive starters for Philadelphia. They played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
Ooh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
And this offense back to needing 10 yards after the false start. 3rd and 10. Off the play fake, Winston. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Back deep is Darren Sproles. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by their 3rd-year quarterback calling the shots under center. It'll be Carson Wentz.
And what a season Carson Wentz was having in 2017 after a rookie season that was a little bit up and down, as you might expect. He was having an MVP caliber year. 33 touchdown passes at the time of his injury. Had his team at 11-2. riding high. Everyone thought that might be it for the Eagles. There goes their dream of winning a Super Bowl. Instead, Nick Foles comes in, team rallies, saves the day, and he ended up winning the Super Bowl anyway. But Carson Wentz had a big hand in getting him in that position.
And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
They run again with a jive. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, it's Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. And he's going to be out of bounds right at the 40. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. Mike Wallace, the intended receiver. And now it's second down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down.
Four down. Check.
Wentz to throw on second down. Screen pass to Sproles. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of 4. Now third down. And that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying it is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
On third and long, it's Wentz. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on fourth. But forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Now on fourth down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. Deep to return is Bernard Reedy. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory. Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. So I remember playing in these spots, and my coaches always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. And a first carry here for Charles Sims. And he'll take this one up to about the 6-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, go into pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of the first down.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Eagles will have it taking over 1st and 10. Around the NFL, a game going on in Washington. And the Redskins there out to an early lead. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Ajayi to begin the drive. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Play action. Now Wentz. And his throw is incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. On play action, Wentz. Aguilar has it. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 24. They run with Ajayi. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well. But when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. A dump off to Sproles. And now running right through it. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The Eagles into the red zone for the first time. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
This is Ajayi. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jay Ajayi, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. And there the counter play proves successful for the touchdown. What typically makes a counter play in general successful, Charles?
But what you're trying to do, Brandon, is to get the team moving in one direction, meaning the defense. Get them going in one direction and then wall them off with your blocking and bring it back in the other direction. That way, you don't actually have to punish them with your blocking. You just position them. And if you have any kind of a good back, he'll take full advantage of it and gain good yardage.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So that drive in total 8 plays, and it's capped off by a touchdown run by Jay Ajayi. Elliott now to kick this one away. Reedy now to return. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Howard. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Hey, 4 down. Ready? Black 22's hot.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
4 down. Ready. Blue ready.
On second down, it's Jones. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Give the tackle that time to Rodney McLeod.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Ready. White 25.
Third and short yardage, Winston. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Blue ready.
Fourth down, Winston. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Bucs try it on fourth down, but come up empty. And the Eagles defense able to hold. Even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you pumped the ball, right? And the thing about a field goal, and you know this from so much experience, the longer the field goal, the lower it comes out off the kick, right? Which means it's got a better chance of being blocked. So you're taking a chance either way. I like the fact they went for it.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up first and 10. They'll begin the drive with Ajayi. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. Here's Ajayi. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now a play fake. Wentz. And he's got room. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5" quarterback picks up the first down. So the youngster able to use the legs to pick up the first.
And one of my pet peeves when they see this guy play, when Carson Wentz takes off running the football, I always hear people go, oh, he's sneaky athletic. No, he's athletic. Watch him do it. He's an integral part of the quarterback run game, and he gets it done very, very well.
You don't like sneaky athletic, do you? That's just kind of a jab in the back.
Yeah, not when it doesn't apply. I think that's a stereotype that needs to be broken down for him.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now.
On first down, Wentz. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. And he's brought down. The numbers for Jeffrey from last week, 5 catches, 79 yards.
And you can tell early, they're going to look his way quite a bit, and he made himself available on that one.
Alshon Jeffrey so dangerous even when a defender's near him.
He's got such a big body, ability to run, positions himself well, excellent control, and you're exactly right. Even if people are draped on him, he often comes up with the catch. He really symbolizes what people are looking for in receivers in today's NFL.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. Now a play fake here on first down. That is caught at the 7. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Zach Ertz, his second touchdown on the season. And the Eagles had 6 to their lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. Elliott now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
And now whistles here and a flag down. Looked like someone got going a little early.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. Now Jameis on second down. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Ready? Blue ready. Here we go. Here we go.
Winston now to throw on first down. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
The Bucs on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 4.
Ready? Blue ready.
Again, it's Winston. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. He had 3 catches last week. That one his 3rd on this drive alone. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 down at the 33. On the counter, here's Jones. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone.
Watch tight end. Key him. Key the tight end. Ready? Black 22. 4 down.
A first down throw for Winston. Over the middle to Evans. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
Ready to go. White 25.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Ready. Blue ready.
Now Jones. And he's able to find some room as they get him down after a good run. That's a gain of 7, and we'll leave them with 2nd and goal coming up.
Some good, strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
Ready. Blue ready.
2nd down, Winston. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time. And it's 3rd and short.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
They come up in an offset eye. They'll try to run it in with Jones. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal.
There are certain drives in the game where anything less than a touchdown that caps it feels like an absolute disappointment. This is one of those drives.
And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
and he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Carson Wentz and the Eagles make their way out to the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Steps away. And I think the ball's out, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower postgame. Here's Chandler Catanzaro for the extra point. Extra point good by Catanzaro, and that makes it a 14-10 ball game. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why, looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now, he's got his team in the lead.
And now they'll look to extend that lead. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a game, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Again, they'll run it. Again, it's Sproles. And he's able to get this one up to the 45-yard line. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Gerald McCoy is always going to be linked with Ndamukong Suh. They came into the NFL in the same draft class. There was a lot of debate about who was going to be the better defensive tackle. They just do it 2 different ways. McCoy, more movement, more elusiveness. That allowed him to make the play there for a short game.
Buying time to his left. And he's got some space here. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Here we go.
From midfield, here's Wentz. This complete left side to Aguilar. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
And a good quarterback facing zone coverage, if he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Here we go. 180.
They go play action here on first down. Escaping the pressure right. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
Yeah, not much there that time, and I think we were both wondering once he got out of the box whether he'd just throw the ball away, and he winds up only picking up a yard or two.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. It was Jason Pierre-Paul who was able to get him down. Then he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
From the gun on third down, Wentz. And that is incomplete. Brent Grimes, the former Pro Bowler, there on the coverage. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49. Tackle made that time by Brandon Graham.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
The play fake to Sims. Now Winston. Oh, it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's second down.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. A give to Jones. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
That's it, baby. That's it.
The Bucs on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League.
Nice, sweetheart. Ready. Black 22.
On third down, Winston. His pass caught at the 4. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
So we're back to a 1-point game now as the kickoff comes. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of it.
Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Noah Spence in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's really a difficult task.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
Hey, we are.
Now it's Ajayi. And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game, because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. A familiar ring to that one. Winston to Evans for the Buccaneer first. First down, Winston. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Chris Long in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. So we've reached halftime here, and it's our visitors, the Eagles, leading this one. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. A full 9 games going on here in the early window. So let's get right to it.
And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters, as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
On second down, here's Wentz. Ertz has it left side. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
On third down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation.
Here we go, back.
Throwing now is Wentz. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Shifts by him. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker board?
Yeah, those two.
And he stopped immediately there. Paul Warlow in to make the tackle.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Winston from the gun on third down. And that's complete. It's Watson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Jameis now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10. The give is to Jones. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. Right side caught by Jackson. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back.
Offense.
Umpire through the flag usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities. But always making sure no one's holding.
And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And this is going to be incomplete. Nigel Bradham, the linebacker, right there on the coverage.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. And out now come the Eagles. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll start out on the ground with Ajayi. Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go. 180.
And they'll go on the ground. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments. And you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half. It gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll go again to Jones. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Fletcher Cox there for the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Here's Brian Anger now. He's been terrific so far. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Here's Carson Wentz now and the rest of his offensive unit heading onto the field. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the one touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this 3rd and 4th quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect. I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. And they'll get him down here at the 23. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
On play action, it's Wentz. He's going to air one out. And that's caught inside the 35. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And they'll run it here. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Into the red zone. Wentz. Screen pass to Sproles. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
Wentz now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal.
4 down, check, 4 down. Here we go. Waiting.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A 10-yard completion, but still now facing 3rd and goal. Wentz now on 3rd and goal. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line, Jason Pierre-Paul coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. JPP did it all those years with the Giants. New uniform, same result.
Yeah, he shows he still got it, doesn't he? Remember, he had 58.5 sacks during his time with the Giants. A great acquisition for Tampa Bay.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This is a 26-yard attempt. And Elliott puts this one through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you'll see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And on the ground they go with a running back. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move. Ready. Black 22.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
The Bucs on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
Black 25.
From the gun, Winston. This is caught by Jackson. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Tampa. It's Buccaneer football, but they've got work to do. They find themselves behind here to start the 4th quarter. On 1st and 10, Winston. Able to get away.
That's why he keeps the legs churning.
And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
Well, that plays a statistic that's going to go on the defensive team stat sheet. Won't necessarily reflect in ours, right, the overall game sheet. But you and I know that they keep count on pressures, hits on quarterbacks, all those things, hoping to increase that throughout the game. Now, here we are in the 4th quarter, and they got a big one.
And such a close game, a very big one. It's a gain of 5, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Winston now from the 50. And he fires one, but incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Here's Brian Anger now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Alshon Jeffrey, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Eagles add on to their lead. And there, a post route started out right, caught it in the middle of the field, went into the end zone. What typically makes those successful, those deep post routes?
You need help from your complementary receivers, okay? The guy that you want to get the ball is the guy that we just saw catch it and take it into the end zone. So he needs help from the other guys who have to occupy anyone in the middle of the field. Whether it's one safety, sometimes you get 2 guys in there, either run routes at them so they have to cover them, or somehow freeze them by running underneath them and hoping to draw them towards the line of scrimmage and throw it over his head.
The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score it. Elliott now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
It's caught by Jackson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards for number 11. They need a touchdown, a 2-point conversion, and a field goal. Pretty good start to the drive, though.
Yeah, good start to the drive, but the urgency has to really be increased by both the players on the field and everyone on the...
And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Now Jameis on 2nd down. That's complete. Middle of the field to Humphreys. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Working out of the gun, Winston. Complete, he finds Bray. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. The Buccaneer first, Winston to Bray.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown.
Ready? White 25.
The first down throw for Winston. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. To throw is Winston. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Pass interference. Defense.
This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Drops it to Jones in the flat. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It'll be a gain of 4, and it's a second down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Ready. Blue 80.
They'll throw again. Winston over the middle to Evans. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And the Eagles will go with an extra DB here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd.
Thinking pass all the way.
Ready, hold up. Blue 80.
Again, it's Winston. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. This a 43-yard attempt. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And that'll make this an 8-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
And there's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
This is fielded at the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. The Pro Bowler, Brent Grimes, brings him down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
There we go. Back. Waiting.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. He's got his man. That's Wallace. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker.
Tight ends left. Easy. 4 down. Here we go.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. He'll get only a couple down to the 44. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. Ertz has it left side. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. An Eagle 1st down, Wentz to Ertz.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Double tight, guys, double tight. You got 4. Go.
On 1st down, Wentz. Eluding the pressure right. And some room to maneuver. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a 1st down.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the 1st down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the 4th quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Tackle made by Chris Conte. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And the kick by Elliott is good. And that will bump the lead up to 11. So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. Reedy now to return. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Decent start to the drive there. Of course, they need the touchdown, 2-point conversion, and a field goal.
Yeah, those guys are into it. How about the guys on the sidelines? You see the coaches signaling, all the personnel groups up on the sideline, ready to go in and out of the game. They've got to condense their time now in order to try and get back into it.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Ready, white 25.
2nd down, Winston. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Jameis to throw it. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be 2nd down. They're giving those short little routes. Tackled him in bounds, too. They're just not wanting to get beat over the top.
Yeah, and if you can't really get downfield, take the short routes. But now you've got to have guys who can actually break tackles and increase those gains.
Yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Ready, blue whitey.
To the air again with Winston. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Winston to Godwin on the connection there for a Tampa Bay first. Winston of the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Jameis now on 1st down. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding, offense.
They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
Jameis again. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Tight ends on the Lucy. Tight ends on the Lucy. Tight ends on the Lucy. Ready, blue ready. Let's go.
Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted. And if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
They go play action. Winston. He's going to let it fly. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Jalen Mills. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he will fight his way forward to about the 23-yard line. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. And they'll go on the ground. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call.
Holding offense.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Taking it about the 16. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. From the shotgun, it's Winston. A dump off to Sims. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. 1st down, Winston. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. And the spike will come with 34 seconds to go.
Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right. Ready. Blue lady. Go.
Off the play fake. Winston. And his throw here's incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
On 3rd down, Winston. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Fletcher Cox in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. Desperation time. Winston on 4th down. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Eagles are likely going to win it. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
The Eagles in the victory formation as they take a knee. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining.
Come on now, come on now, let's go.
Four down, check.
Wentz with a kneel down, and that will be the final act of this game. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you prime the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Philadelphia, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll return home next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for Tampa Bay, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll look to get back on the beam next week.